Hello students and welcome to your class of English today. In today's class, right after the discussion and explanation on the little girl, we'll move forward with the questions and answers. As you know, it is a very important part of completing any chapter and having the understanding completely done. So I'll share the questions which are there in the textbook on the screen. I'll give out the answers, not directly. I'll show you where the answers are to be found. And based on that, you'll have to write the answers down on your notebooks. And then since there are at least 7 to 8 questions, there are a bit more in number. I'll give you one extra day, which is generally you get 2 days time to get your homework done. But you will have time till Monday to submit this entire set of homework, and please make sure that all the things that are given and shared on the screen are done on time. The questions I will share first. This chapter is called The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield. The first 1, 2, 3, 4 questions are basically these questions that you have on the screen. Let me quickly show you. Yes, these are the ones that is to be answered here on the screen, what you can see, and they are short answer type questions, which means they are 10 to 15 words only. Why was Kezia afraid of her father? I mean, that's probably one of the first questions that does come to your head. That the answer is very simple, because he used to be a very strict kind of a person who spoke with a very loud voice and wasn't much playful with her. Please remember, what I say in the video is very important. You may pause it, you may rewind and replay whatever I say to get your answers out. Anyways, see, she never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father. And the reason of the stuttering was that she was very scared. Who were the people in Kezia's family? Mother, father, herself, and the grandmother. What was Kezia's father's routine before going to his office? It's there in the initial part. Right, every morning before going to work, he came to her room and gave her a casual kiss. That was the routine before going to his office. After coming back from office, in the evening when he came back, he stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall, "Bring my tea." So when you answer the second part, what was the routine after coming back from office? After coming back from office, his routine was to ask for his tea and his newspaper and his slippers. You see, tea, slippers, and has the paper which refers obviously to the newspaper. His routine after coming back from office was to ask for tea, paper, and slippers. On Sundays, yes, on Sunday afternoon, grandmother sent her to the drawing room, but the little girl always found her mother reading, and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So you don't have to write about the mother over here. You write only about the father, what he did on a Sunday. It's over here. Please realize that the questions and answers cannot be spoon-fed. At this level, when you have reached a certain standard of school, you're in the 9th standard, you'll soon be in the 10th standard, and you should learn and you should inculcate the habit of writing your own answers and correctly. Please do not just copy and paste the answers. That never makes sense. Right, moving forward. In what way did Kezia's grandmother encourage her to know her father better? It's clearly written over here. Number 1 was she encouraged her to go and speak to them on Sundays, and number 2 would be it's over there. She also asked her to make a gift for her father on his birthday. So there are 2 points. One is she wanted her to go and speak to them, and number 2 is she encouraged her to make gifts for her father's birthday. These are the short answer type questions. So you have to write them in 10 to 15 words, very short. You can move to maximum 20 words, but don't exceed it. The next set of questions which I'm going to share are to be written in the minimum of 30 words and a maximum of 40 words. And please note this thing, that you have to make sure that you put down your own thoughts and opinions and information from the textbook. Right. Next up, these are long answer type questions. Kezia's effort to please her father resulted in displeasing him very much. How did this happen? So here you have to write about how she was given the idea of making a gift. She was making the gift of a cushion. She did the stitching, and then when she wanted to do the stuffing, that part is very important to the story. I did explain it. Wherein, so if you have not read the story, this is not going to make sense. Please make sure you read it. So yeah, as I was saying, she wanted to stuff the cushion. I wish I had a cushion nearby to show you, but I'm sure everyone has a cushion back in their home. So yeah, you'll have to find it on your own. But hey, here in page number 34, you have the answer. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. I hope you can remember. This is the part where she wants to please her father by making a gift, a cushion, but she displeased him by destroying his papers. His great speech for the Port Authority. She didn't know she took the piece of paper and she, just shredded them and used them as stuffing. That really, messed things up. Because they decided that there were different kinds of fathers. What kind of father was Mr. McDonald and how was it different from Kezia's father? If you read this story, the answer is so obvious and the answer is so easy. It's so out there. So this is the picture of Mr. McDonald, who is joyful, who spends time with his children, who is really nice and speaks nicely. Right? He actually spends time and plays with his children, whereas Kezia's father was always busy with his work. Sundays he used to sleep, and he used to speak to her with a very stern voice, not rude. The correct word in this case is stern, S-T-E-R-N, stern voice. This is the major difference between Mr. McDonald and Kezia's father. How does Kezia begin to see her father as a human being? This obviously has to do with the last part of the story, wherein mother and grandmother were outside. She went to sleep in her room separately, but she saw the nightmares. Her father came to help her out, and to help her out, he decided to just be with her on the bed, hold her really close to him, and she felt the connection that my dad does take care of me, and he may seem very stern and he may seem very big and very strong, but basically he's a very nice person because of the conversation that they had. So these are the questions. I've described the answers. I've showed you where the answers are. You have time till Monday morning to submit your questions and answers. Take pictures and upload them in Google Classroom. Before I end today's class, I'll notify you about a live class on Zoom really soon, today by day end, and I hope we get to meet each other online and live really soon. Thanks for watching.